What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I'm a person in recovery. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. If you don't mind, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. That way you will be made aware every single time I pop on. For those of you guys that are brand new, I am going live now every Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can catch me here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for a live stream. Okay, what we're going to talk about today is benzodiazepines. I have had an influx of traffic to the channel of people that are going through benzo withdrawal that need help or reassurance or just experience strength and hope, and that's what I'm here for. I am not a doctor, I am not a therapist, I am not a counselor, I am not a nurse. I am simply a person in recovery who has been sober from benzodiazepines for over 5 years. And I am going to share my personal lived experience with you as someone who took Xanax and Klonopin for over 10 years in mass quantities. So, first of all, I think it's important to tell you how I got started on Xanax. I was actually 21 years old when it all began, and I was working for the state of Arkansas. I had been working there for a good year, and my boss had, she was actually really sick. She was dying from cancer, and she was prescribed Xanax. One day while I was at work, I had gotten really stressed out, and I was having a panic attack, and she gave me one of her little peach 0.5 Xanaxes. I took it, and it immediately alleviated those symptoms of the panic attack. It made me feel so relaxed, so much better, and that is what I needed. I needed to calm down. I was super high strung when I was younger, and I was also already struggling with a huge addiction to stimulants. So taking Xanax took the edge off, you know? So I continued to take Xanax from her. She would give them to me for about 2 or 3 months, and then I got my own prescription, and my doctor started me out on the 0.5 peach Xanaxes. I stayed on those for about 90 days, and then he bumped me up to the footballs, and that's as high as I got prescribed. It was 2 footballs a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, or as needed. So I was taking Xanax because I loved the way it made me feel. And so I needed more and more and more and more and more each time to get those desired effects because I was building a tolerance to it. And so I started to run out of my prescription early, and I started buying them off the streets. I eventually got my prescription taken away because somebody had called my doctor and said I was selling them. I was not selling them. I ate every one of those things. And they took my prescription away, and I was fucking devastated, dude, because I just loved to feel nothing. And that's how they made me feel. Well, I continued buying them on the streets until I got sober in 2015. So that was 2001 was, or 20, I was 21 years old in the year 2004 or 3. And so 12 years I took benzos every day. Every day. I always took benzos. I always had benzos. If I didn't have benzos, I was searching for them. So there really wasn't a time that I didn't have them. You know, there was times where I would get sober and I would go into treatment or detox, and I would come back out and I would relapse and I would get right back on them. So I had a steady supply of benzodiazepines in my system. I was addicted to them, and I had to have them to function. When I didn't have them, I felt like shit. So I finally was able to get off of Xanax in 2015, and I went into detox. I was in detox for 6 days. And when I came out of detox, I went into a 30-day residential treatment program. While I was in that treatment program, I relapsed on Xanax, and I was taking Xanax for 2 weeks straight. The treatment center caught me and took them away from me, and then I never took another Xanax again. Now, while I was in treatment, you guys, I did not sleep for those last 2 weeks I was there. I tossed, I turned, my legs. I could not shut my mind off. It was torture. When I got out of treatment, my little boy had gotten taken away from me, so he was in Child Protective Services. And so I still wasn't sleeping. I can remember not remembering things and having this fog in my brain, and these electrical pulses is the only way I can explain it to you what I was experiencing from the benzo withdrawal. I also experienced like burning of my skin on my arms and my back. And I just felt like not myself. And I felt like not myself for over a year. No, let me think. I got my son back I got my son back in 12 months, about a year it took me to get custody of him back. So I feel like right about that year mark is when I started to feel like I was getting myself back. But I was still in a fog, you know? But it really got better after that first year. I have been able to heal from benzos, and I live a pretty great life. I feel good. I don't have overwhelming anxiety. Now, there was a time when I was first coming off benzos where my fight or flight system was like all out of whack, and I would go into a sudden like heart pounding panic attack just like that. But those subsided after the first year. Now, there was a time I got on Lexapro. That's another important thing for you guys to know. I got on Lexapro, and I'm on Wellbutrin also, and those medications have helped me. Lexapro helps me with my anxiety a lot. I actually tried to discontinue taking Lexapro about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and it almost killed me. It was the worst withdrawal I've ever been, worse than any opiate withdrawal, it was horrible. It made me feel like my head was detached from my body. It made me feel like I wanted to take my own life. That's how bad it was. And I kept going into these sudden heart attack feelings, like my heart just beating as fast as it could, major panic attacks. And it reminded me of what it was like coming off of benzos. But it was way worse, the Lexapro. So I got back on, and I've been on 0.5 Lexapro ever since, and I'll probably never get off of it. But I'm sharing all this with you guys about benzodiazepines again and now because I had a lady come in today to my live stream, and she was asking if people ever heal from benzodiazepines. And I wanted to come on here and give you guys hope, let you know that you can heal, and that I'm praying for you, and that I want you to know that I support you. I want to be honest though and tell you that it really did take me about a year until I started feeling better. And you know what? Every year that I stay sober from drugs, I feel better and better and better and better and better each year. But I was out of the woods after the first year and starting to heal and really starting to feel like I was getting back to myself again. I know a lot of people who go through benzo withdrawal and who are struggling right now. And there are so many resources out there for you guys. I'm going to link a bunch of different people I know that have channels that have experience with benzo withdrawal. I'm also going to link some Facebook groups. I'm also going to leave Dr. B's number there, and you guys can call me anytime if you have problems with benzos and you want to get off of them. We do have resources for you for that. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And the best thing to do if you are on benzodiazepines and you want to get off is to consult your doctor and come up with a taper plan, and take your time and realize that you didn't get here overnight. You didn't get hooked overnight. You didn't get dependent to benzodiazepines overnight. So it's not going to be something that's going to be an overnight fix. It takes time. It takes dedication. And it takes having your mind set on that goal and trying to stay as positive as you can. I really want you guys, if you take away anything, is to take away that changing our mindset and focusing on, I'm going to heal. I'm on the right path. I'm going to beat this. Benzos aren't going to beat me. I'm going to beat benzos. I'm telling you guys right now, if you can change your mindset and start thinking positive, it will change your life. You guys know how I am. I'm straight up. I just tell you like it is. And changing my mindset and being positive and focusing on the good instead of the bad, stop focusing on the positive instead of the negative, has changed my life. And I know it can change yours too. I try to reflect on what I'm grateful for every single day. And it really does help me to get through the hard times. Because this year has been a shit show. And I have struggled all year long. But you know what? There's nothing that is going to be good enough to make me want to get high again. So I keep on pushing through, and I think about all of you guys and all the things I have to be grateful for. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope that if you're struggling with benzos and you think that you have a dependency or addiction to benzodiazepines, please reach out for help. You're not alone. You are not alone. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Many, many people struggle with this. And you can always, like I said, call me, and everything we talk about is confidential, and I will be here to support you guys. So I love you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.